Hi, it's Chief again, and today we are going to take a look at the new 8.9 test server. And as you can see, this is one of the new tanks. We're gonna quickly go over all of the tanks and see what they brought in this new patch. I I don't know what to think of this thing. I mean, yeah, it's a T44, but I remember I didn't like T44 very much, and this thing just makes T44 look amazing. I mean, this is a beast. I love this tank. I don't care what people say about the gun, and it. I can pen everything at tier 9 with this gun without gold ammo. See, I don't even carry any. This tank, however, I know what I said, and I know what I've been preaching to everyone I play with World of Tank was any tank can pen any tank in this game. You just have to know where to shoot. But this is kind of a really bad joke. Seriously? I mean, okay, let's go back to the tech tree. Okay, we'll be nice. We'll go Russia. Chinese usually have pretty good guns. Let's see what the T30. Well, okay, the T3485 have a better gun. Um, if you look at the tech tree, T43 is legendary bad. And at least it has a derp gun, and it also gets this gun, which is okay. And compared to T44, which is the tier 7, it has a 107. It has a 107. So like, seriously, what what is this? I mean, I to be honest, I wouldn't touch this tank with a 10-foot pole. Played one game and it just felt horrible, and I really never want to play it again. Tier 7 with a tier 6 gun? I mean, I understand premium tank and I understand, you know, but this is gonna give you problem in any tier 7 tank. And I don't know about the test server, but I've hit tier 9, tier 8s in this tank, and I've had one game where I had tier 8 and I couldn't I had a really hard time trying to pin. So maybe it has preferred matchmaking, and I hope it never gets past tier 7. Tier 7, you're still gonna struggle really bad with this tank, because honestly, no armor. The turret, there's not that many obvious weak spots, but if you shoot anywhere here, it's not that hard to pin. It, this, yeah, I don't see 115 is mostly flat, so I can't imagine this being hard to pin either. So yeah, I don't know. I oh, we'll see. Now we have a new Japanese tank. It looks pretty cool. I mean, the the graphics. I mean, the not the graphics, but the camo looks pretty cool. And the tank itself, I like the gun. Okay, the gun is good. It's tier 5 tank was a tier 5 gun, 124 pin. It'll pin anything in the game. 12 rounds, not that bad. This lets it down a little, but it's not bad. This isn't bad for tier 5. The problem with this tank is it's very slow. It's very sluggish. The armor is not bad. I mean, let's compare the armor to um, let's say the American counterpart. American tanks are not known for its armor. Okay, uh, so it's not too bad. Hull armors, it's about the same. Turret armors, okay. Sherman is much more sloped than this tank, and obviously that's gonna be a weak spot. I'm gonna guess these are weak spots too. It's very flat tank, and it's actually very small in real life. I've seen some of them. Um, so yeah, it's a nice tank, but it's not really a medium. It's more of a support tank to heavies than the push tank, because it's really slow. Going uphill is horrible. So yeah, the gun is still good. I mean, still it's a playable tank, and it's a very good tank to train crew. I mean, there's one, two, three, there's five crews, so American medium have five. A lot of country medium have four, so I can imagine that tank being pretty good. Now, here is a little bit of a tricky situation or a little difference in tank. This is the new Chinese premium tank. Notice the difference? This is a red star. Excuse me. And this isn't a red star. And this looks very un-Chinese. It's not Chinese. This is a Vietnam Air US anti-aircraft tank. If you guys want, go to a website called tankland.com. It's a museum in LA, or California, Los Angeles, California, and they have lots and lots and lots of these, and all mounted with either 30 millimeter anti-aircraft heavy machine guns or anti-aircraft, 40 millimeter anti-aircraft cannons. It's fast. U.S. made a lot of them, and this is a Taiwan symbol. They sold a whole bunch of these in Taiwan to Taiwanese. This is the actual turret, or close to it anyway, but not the gun that they mounted. So this is the original, one of the high caliber Sherman guns in World War II. So they just fit a whole bunch. They had a whole bunch of these left over from the war, so they just fit a whole bunch of them on the tank and sold it to Taiwan. Unfortunately, Taiwan kind of gets all of the bad stuff. This is actually a door. You can actually go into the tank from here. Engines in the back. This is mostly empty space other than the driver and the gunner. Well, and this is why it has a radio operator, because it's American tank, and all American tanks have a radio operator. Let's see. Let's go to US Tech Tree. Okay, this is the closest thing. See, it has a radio operator. So this is a very American tank. I played one or two games. The top speed, yeah. The traverse of the tank is great. The turret traverse is a little bit slow. It's on paper it's pretty fast, but it feels like a Hellcat a little bit. I mean, it looks like a Hellcat. So the turret traverse is a little bit lacking for the speed it has and for the hull traverse it has. You can definitely circle off Doom a tank and kill it, and it's tier 6, so in its tier it's amazing. But it sees tier 10, I can imagine, because it's a scale and it gets scale matchmaking. Compared to a Hellcat, it's a relatively, I don't know how big it is. Let's see. So I guess it's the same size. It's not a small tank by any stretch of imagination, but it's not a big tank either. Okay, I can imagine that being a very good scout, because as you can see, I gear my Hellcat as a scout anyway. So, camo, binocs, rammer. So you play as a Hellcat, and it's very American in the sense that it has amazing gun depression and gun elevation. The gun's not bad. You will be able to pen tier 10, not from the front, but hey, this light tank have more pen than the Russian tier 7 medium tank. So I'm not gonna complain. This is gonna be the new T50-2, because speed, it turns ridiculously well. Obviously no armor whatsoever, so everything is a weak spot. Yeah, the engine is in the back. It's not the Hellcat engine. It's not as fast as the Hellcat, because Hellcat actually has an aircraft engine in it. There's stories where in the middle of the winter, all of the Hellcat crew would not sleep in their tank, because the engine pulls so much air into the tank that it actually freezes tank crews that's gotten left in the tank and not slept outside of the tank. So Yeah, and the engine's right here. There's a drop plate. The plate drops, and the engine just you can just pull the engine out. You can literally get the engine out of the tank with under 30 minutes. So it's very easy and serviceable, but huge engine compared to this tank is a little bit different. Different breed of tank is a little bit newer. So, but I can imagine this being the next T50-2. A little bit light, not that light. It's pretty okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's my new rammer tank. Who knows? And now coming back to the German TDs, and that's what we've all been waiting for. Now, Martyr 2 got a bit of a nerf buff. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. We'll talk about this in a bit, but this is a new. Starting from this one, this is the Tier 4 new Martyr. I guess this is the Martyr 3. It gets the same gun, so I feel that it's a bit undergun because this is a Tier 5 gun, and this is the same one Martyr gets. The new one Martyr gets anyway. This used to be the Martyr's gun, and this is the one that everybody liked. This is the Russian gun that German captured so many of and stuck on the tank and called it a tank destroyer. It used to be a great gun. The difference, however, is so basically this is the old Martyr and this is the new Martyr. Well, no, the old Martyr actually has more pen, so this doesn't matter. But the new Martyr gun, it aims faster, it has better accuracy, it has lower alpha damage but faster. The old Martyr gun actually is 0.43 accuracy and it's 115 pen, I think. So same gun, just a little bit more pen, and same alpha damage, same weight. The new Martyr gun, it has less pen now, it's more accurate, it's a lot faster aiming, even though it's not fast enough. And I feel that the gun is not as good anymore. The new one doesn't have as good gun depression, and this doesn't have as good of a gun elevation. And on a tier 4 tank, that's even worse because it just doesn't feel right. I mean, it just feels like it's very underpowered. I don't know. It feels very underpowered for tier 4 now. And the gun traverse is okay, the gun depression is alright, the gun elevation is okay. You can see the gun depression is not going to be very good, so it'll come down to about here. So it has gun depression. It has pretty good gun depression, not as good as, Digger Max good. And you can see the gun can come, if we look at it this way, the gun will come here and then it'll go here. So it's like a Martyr at tier 4, except the gun is now not very good. At tier 3, it doesn't matter the gun. We gotta improve gun. The pen doesn't matter because it'll pen any tier 3. At tier 4, not so much. It'll have a hell of a time trying to pen a Hetzer, obviously. So stuff like that. The tier 5, however, is a beast of a tank. I don't know what you call it. It looked like a giant box. 88mm, it's a downgrade or a lower version of the Tiger gun. I don't have a Tiger, but I have a Tiger P. Let's see. So 88 L74. I don't have a L74. I have the L71. So yeah, it's good fire rate, good pen. At tier 5, this is gonna be amazing. 8 rounds per minute, really. I mean, compared to this is a bad comparison. I'm not gonna compare it to a Stug because that's not really fair. It has a 75. Let's see. Wolverine 75, 76, 18 rounds. Okay, I lied. But 88mm at 8 rounds per minute, that's ridiculously good. So, but again, they're all gloss cannons. It's the theme of new German TDs, and I have an issue with the German TD, and that is it's so glossy, and the biggest target frontally is the gun. And even sometimes the side, and I get my gun. If you get seen, you get your gun broken so many times it's not even funny. So I don't know. You need like 10 repair kits to fix the gun because every time you get shot at, your gun gets broken, like red broken, not damaged. Like you have to fix it. This is the legendary. I'm not gonna pronounce any of the name. Let's just say it's the TD version of Hummel. It looks like a Hummel. And again, look at the gun traverse. Look, it's gonna come here and it's gonna come here. Okay. Obviously, it has gun depression. Not very good, but has some because it has some movement there. And looks like it has gun elevation because I'm gonna guess the gun will stop when it hits this. So it has good gun elevation. Has pretty good gun depression. Not extremely good. And gun traverse from side to side is pretty good. However, it gets the L71 88mm. It fires even faster. And yeah, tier 6, I mean, there is no tank that have that much armor at tier 6. Let's see the tech tree, okay? Tier 6 tanks, no armor, no armor. Yeah, okay, not worry about it. Little bit of armor, not 200mm armor. Russian, yeah, this is gonna get eat up by that tank. Even, yeah, 90mm armor. This is twice as more pen than the armor, even if it's very sloped. No armor, no armor, there's nothing. This thing, maybe if it's angled, would have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, obviously this thing doesn't have any armor. Yeah, let's just forget about French altogether. Maybe 288 it'll have problem, but 203 ATA have 203 armor. So yeah, this is like maybe the only tank it'll have a problem with. Obviously these two tank no problem. So yeah, and I don't have 100% crew. I don't have any equipment. At almost 10 rounds a minute, this is ridiculous. So yeah, obviously amazing tank. The new Digger Max. it looks just like it. Very derpy gun. Tier 9, 200. It doesn't get premium ammo at all, as you can see. Only 15 rounds. So be careful who you shoot at. 128. This is the same gun on E75 and almost the same gun on E75, but at tier 7. So tier 9 gun at tier 7, gloss cannon again. But I can imagine this piece will bounce some rounds. Okay, Dicker Max, it's a very similar tank and it has amazing gun depression just like a Dicker Max. It can almost touch the front of the hull. Biggest problem with this tank is the gun doesn't really go side to side. It goes maybe here and then it goes maybe here and that's it. So you constantly have to move the hull of the tank and the gun's aiming time isn't perfect. It's somewhat accurate, but it's a very derpy gun. And if you can get a sight shot on someone, that is awesome. So it has good heat round when you get into trouble. So, but you can fire all 15 round easily, and I have. So it's a good tank. It's a every German TD in this whole entire line are just camping tanks. They have amazing view range because obviously open top, all of them's open top. But very camping tank. The next one is strange, and I'm gonna show you another tank. I know it's not the same tank, but I want to show you a different tank. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Yeah, the German took some lesson from the British and made a very similar gun. I mean, well, this gun they didn't even bother, storing the ammo. They just loaded crates and here you go. But it looks very similar. I mean, it's bigger. It's a lot bigger, and I don't know. Does it go any faster? Let's see. So this one is 54. Um, what is the top speed? 35. No, it doesn't go any faster. Definitely have a bigger engine. So, yeah, okay. But they get two guns. This is more or less the E100 gun. With less pen, but the E100 gun. And the other is the 128, which is almost pretty much, yeah, again, the E75 gun, just at tier 8. It's a tier 10 gun, amazing pen, at really good aiming time. It's still a bit derpy. This is definitely very derpy. 2.1 for that big of a gun, I can't really complain. Very good fire rate. Well, for 128, it's pretty good. And DPM isn't a big issue in these tanks because one, it has a turret. This thing actually has a fully traversable turret. So when it's 360 degrees, just like the birch gun, and it's a very low profile tank, and I can imagine amazing camo value. So again, scout or camping setup. Um, it's gonna be one of those tanks where you're gonna hide behind a tree and use the alpha damage to your advantage. And at tier 8, not too many tanks have this kind of firepower. Not definitely not the 150. The only problem is with the 150, it has low pin, so you really have to be careful who you aim at. But 215 is plenty at tier 8. Next tank is, I don't know. And it has all of the guns. So it have all of the guns for this tank, and it has all of the guns for E100. I'm just gonna call E100 Trager Elf E100. It has all of the guns of E100, and this is a Panzer IV. I mean, I know how big the Panzer IV tank is, but okay, how many guns you can carry? I mean, how many rounds you can carry? 4150 round for 150 millimeter in this little thing. I don't know. And again, the same E70 UE57. Where is the crew? Do they hang off the tank? I mean, at least it's sort of on the tank. That UE57 is like they're like literally hanging off the tank, and this is literally like an anti-aircraft gun. I mean, the gun depression sucks because look how long the barrel is, and it's pointing up. So obviously, this power isn't gonna go down very much. And see that piece right there. So it definitely have amazing gun elevation, but gun depression not much. Fully traversable turret, obviously, it'll come down more on the side of the tank, but frontally, no. So you probably want to, like, since you have no armor anyway, this is not armor at tier 9, so maybe turn your side of the tank and like aim down, maybe here, you know. So still very very good tank, amazing gun. Rate of fire, not bad. This is the 120. 129. Okay, put the 150 on. Rate of fire, 4 rounds a minute. Good aiming time, not so good accuracy. Very good aiming time, pretty good accuracy, pretty good rate of fire. And now the tank that everybody has been waiting for, the E100. Now, how is it? Again, problem with the gun. Everybody shoots the gun and it gets broken a lot. And one repair kit just doesn't seem to cut it. But amazingly, it's very stealthy. And obviously, glass cannon, a very, very high camo rating. City street fighting, this tank is horrible, and if you can put this tank behind a bush and fire at long range, it's really really good, and plenty of ammo for you to shoot, obviously. The front of the hull is really really well. This is E100 hull, so the hull the whole entire hull is just really good. Front and back. That piece right there is 150 and it's sloped, so I'm gonna say 175, 200-ish. Not gonna pin here, no. This little piece right here, this is 120, so plus the angling maybe 160, so still it'll bounce shots. But obviously, again, this tank is like the previous tank where when you aim the gun you aim towards the side, and I really like the 128. 128 overall has more damage than the 150, but the 150 is it's derpy. It's still good accuracy but very derpy and pretty good aiming time. It's almost point and shoot. The 128, however, not even .3 accuracy. This is laser like, even better than E50M. And do you really have? Yeah, you don't have to aim. um, it unloads the round much faster. And at tier 10, that pin is really good. Again, if you were talking about clan war, you're using premium round anyway. 334. That's gonna pin most tanks. This is like a combination of French and American autoloaders. Amazing speed for a huge tank. It's really fast. Not scale fast. You're not gonna scale with it, but from one, it takes you from point A to point B in a really good speed. Good traverse, good gun traverse. It has a fairly long reload, but again, not really important. And firing that 6 round, you will kill a mouse. With that kind of pen, if you're using gold, you will kill a mouse frontally. And so not an issue was killing tanks, not an issue picking targets off. It's only hide this tank. Don't get into close quarter combat. This is more of a close quarter fight gun, like point blank derping in the face gun. And this tank can definitely kill any other tier 10 at point blank range. If they let you unload, if they fire, they miss, you turn the corner, you will be able to unload all of your shots before they ever reload. And if you can pin all of your shots, which both gun have enough penetration, you will kill it in one, in one load, and then just run away 40 kilometers, more than fast enough to get somewhere safe and reload and come back again. So you can do that in the street corner, or you can just camp. This gun's accurate. It's amazing accuracy, very German-like, and amazing aiming time. So unloading a clip with this gun, not a problem at all. So I think it's gonna be a really amazing clan war tank. And yeah, people say it has no armor, everybody's gonna shoot at it, but in clan war everybody fight gold, use gold anyway, and if you're fighting good clans, they're gonna pen every one of their shots shooting at you anyway, so who cares? It has good enough HP. It has amazing DPM, and well, damage output anyway. Maybe not DPM because the long reload, but still, I think it's amazing. Clown War tank. Now, I have a replay of this tank, but this video is running a little too long, so I'll show you guys tomorrow. So I hope you liked the video. If you do, subscribe to my channel and enjoy.